it's Jo here, founder of Freckles, and in this week's video I want to talk very quickly about sick pay. Now, sick pay is really quite straightforward, but it's something that I thought was worth touching upon. It's something that we go through in our training with our girls, and we make sure everyone understands, because it can just throw you a bit sometimes if you don't know. And it's also worth something that you need to be able to look in a contract that you've been given and check that it is there. Now, in our contracts that we provide, you are not entitled to sick pay unless you qualify for statutory sick pay. Okay, so two things there. The first is sick pay. That is pay paid by your company when you are off sick. So normally, well, in some companies they say that's fine, if you're poorly, we'll pay you your rate anyway for that day. But in most companies, they don't pay you if you are off sick with a cold or the flu or something like that. But then you start to move towards statutory sick pay, and statutory sick pay is like a legal requirement, and so that means if you qualify for statutory sick pay, then you are entitled to get some pay while you're off sick. Now, you might qualify for statutory sick pay if you break your leg and you can no longer do your job, if you've got a really bad virus, or kind of if you have got sort of depression or something like that, which means you can't go into work. So those are the kind of situations where you might qualify for statutory sick pay. In order to qualify for statutory sick pay at the moment, you have to have more than 3 consecutive days off sick, and then you have to get a doctor's note. So you do need to kind of be in touch with your GP, and that's just to make sure you are actually poorly. So my advice is that when our girls are sick, is that actually you need to take into consideration how poorly you are and the implication that will have on the family. If you've got a cough or a cold, then I would suggest talking to the family straight away and letting them know you're not going to be paid if you don't go in, and that is because that's just part and parcel of it. But also, chances are mum and dad are going to have to take unpaid leave from work in order to cover the children, or they're going to have to pay somebody else to come in and pick them up or look after them or whatever it might be. So the reason it's there is so that they can kind of reallocate those funds, and most companies don't pay you for sick days. They might pay for 1 or 2, but after that they'll say no, because it's just, in a company's opinion, business perspective, can sometimes feel like they're just kind of losing money. You're not there to do the work. Seems quite heartless, but it's just the way it is. So the key thing is, if you are ill, speak to your family straight away, manage that through, be prepared that you're not going to get pay if you're off sick with a cold for 3 days, and then you're going to need to look at qualifying for statutory sick pay if you are actually really quite ill. So keep in touch with your GP and your doctor, go in, get your doctor's notes, keep your family informed, those kinds of things. Obviously the statutory sick pay is there to protect you if you do get really ill and it means you are unable to work. I hope that helps and clears a couple of things up. Obviously, any questions, let me know. And I will be back next week with another video on anything and everything to do with nannying, childcare and children.